You know the fucking vibes. It's your boy Litty Willie. Today on the Litty Show, we got my brother, we got my homie, we got Rene in the building.
Long time coming.
What's good,
Long
brother?
time coming. Can't complain. Doing my thing. We out here.
Super humble, bro. Let me start off with that. Like you're one of the
Appreciate you.
top 10 humble people I've met in the world, bro. Like
I try to keep it that way. I've never been like a flashy person when it comes down to anything. So
right. Smooth, calm.
yeah, calm, anxious sometimes. You get me,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for the most part, I don't get too flashy with anything.
You hide the anxiousness well, because I don't think I've ever, even in your music.
Yeah.
I hear stuff in your music, but not anxiousness.
Yeah, that was something to overcome like really early on too. Just wanted to portray myself and my music like the right way, just because of like who I've looked up to and everything. So that's something I had to get through in the beginning that I've done a lot better now too.
Okay.
You know.
So physically, have you had any long-term back pains when you slipped and fell in Nashville on your birthday?
That's crazy. No, not long term.
No,
Not
no,
long term, but
no.
I was sore for a little bit that day. Maybe the day after.
What
Yeah.
happened?
Man, so we went to man, it's a shame on me. I can't even remember the name of the damn park. It was a great day, but bro, we were going down the trail, which is I want to say is like about half a mile, maybe 3/4 of one, to go to like a waterfall. It's like called a gorge, so you kind of sit there
Yeah.
at the base of the waterfall, the mountain, whatever. And the trail kind of like split in two, or at least I saw it that way because you got a creek in the middle. So my girl, my brother, and then my other homeboy, Gabe, he stayed on the right side. I decided to go on the left because I wanted to like scale the wall.
Right.
And sure enough, the path just started
Bad
closing
idea.
on me. I was like, ugh, I can't even go back now. If I go back now, I'm gonna slip. So I climbed down. I had a lady try to help me too. Bro, she was climbing the wall. She had a baby on her back. She was doing that shit like nothing.
She was making you look
Making me look like shit, yeah. So she's like, yeah, just ease your way down. And I was like, okay. Nah, halfway trying to.
Does anybody got that on video?
He's got it on video, yeah.
You gotta make that meme where you know he says when he's doing something says at this moment Rene knew he fucked up.
Yeah, put it in
boom.
black and white. Bro, yeah. So nah, man, as soon as I came down, I hit one slippery rock and that was it.
But
yeah.
no long term.
No.
I did that in Puerto Rico too. I slipped
No
on
shit.
a wet rock.
For real?
I didn't know rocks were slippery like that.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is. If it's the water like going by,
Algae.
Right, that too, bro. But no, I hit right on my hip. So, but I was good. I was good.
You're
thank
good
God.
now.
Yeah. Ruined the outfit for a little bit, but we were gonna go swim anyway. So
it's all good.
Yeah.
So Lakeshore, Franklin Avenue. You grew up there, or is that a special time in your life? Or
Yeah, that was a moment in my life, but it's like kind of like a two-part thing, if that kind of makes sense. I've always grown up in Homestead, but there obviously is like leaning towards Florida City. I live in like Leisure City now, but me and my brother, my mom's, we stayed there for a good portion of my life. Just so we had like two different apartments there. The reason why I'm calling Franklin Avenue is because I had moved back to that first apartment. My mom actually owns the apartments, her and my grandfather.
Cool.
So I stayed there. I moved in there with past girlfriend, a relationship. So that was just, it was one of those moments, like I always want to take my music and make it like a timestamp of where I'm at. And that just happened to be the timestamp. I made that probably, it was only 3 songs, but I think it took me like 3 months to make it. Just, I was starting to work full time. I was still in school doing a whole bunch of stuff, but it was just, I wanted to call it that. Was the street I was staying on there. That one was Franklin Avenue. The second apartment was like, I think it's Independence Drive. They're all like.
I moved to Miami in 2003.
Right.
And I lived across in Keystone.
No shit.
Which I met all my best friends in Lakeshore, which they used to live in Lakeshore.
Really?
Yeah, we used to steal bikes for fun in there.
God damn. I don't even think I had one of that time, so thank God. But
that's what I said. So what's 138, 33 connected to in all this?
That's that one I was just making because it was my first time living on my own. So I was away from my mom's for the first time, away from my brother the first time, trying to, I guess, be my own man. You get me? I had, the ex-girlfriend at the time. So again, like I said, working full time, doing school full time. That's actually, and it's terrible. It's like the address of where I stay now, or at least the first one. Obviously, I don't got the full address there.
Right.
But where I'm staying now, so it's kind of just like remembering how it was when I used to be around family all the time. Because when life gets so busy, I'm not hitting my mom every day. I'm not hitting my brother every day. I'm getting caught up in drama inside the house, drama inside of work, trying to make music, trying to balance school life and just everything. So it's kind of like life was easier back then. I was taking those family moments for granted. You get me? Because family is just super important to us. Like every Sunday we go and we chill with my grandfather. He cooks for the whole family. Like, so we've done that since I've been alive. So that was like some of the first times where I wasn't showing up every Sunday, and I'm having to make the effort for phone calls, or vice versa. My mom has to, hey, you
Right.
haven't hit me in a few days. So
So
that's where it pays homage to that.
moving forward, 3 years later, we call that adulting.
Right. Right. So I stayed there. That came out 2020.
Right.
So I started 3 years. I was 22 when that came out, but I was in that apartment probably a little over a year.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably a year and a pushing closer to 2. So yeah, man, I was only 21 there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like I was figuring out what life is. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Now I understand, now being 25, that it was just something I had to go through, and trying to find the balance, and understand that there's some days, weeks, months, years that life doesn't have balance.
But it was worth it. It was
Nah,
worth it,
absolutely.
and you know how some people have like documentaries on how their growth is with a camera. Your documentary was with your music, so it was
Right.
like it was listed. You could still go back and listen to that music
Yeah.
and relive those memories. Some good, some bad, but
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
still nostalgic.
They were a little more bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nostalgic now. I still
nostalgic.
think it's some of my best music, because it was where I was really taking my time with mixing. Some
Right.
of the other songs that I had put out, some of them I would finish in a night, but I made sure that I was like, okay, I recorded this in a night. But I remember even the 3 samples that are on it, those aren't even the original ones. I just wasn't able to get the mix right. They weren't wave format, so I had to like,
You were putting
try-
in work.
yeah, I was putting in
Mhm.
different loops and everything for that too. So
Talking on that, Tennessee wrote. It sounds like whatever it was,
they him.
whatever it was, a struggle. Trying to maintain that topic, the Tennessee Road topic,
Right.
to follow your dreams, to work, to be a son, to be a brother.
Yeah.
That song was deep. I don't know if you know how deep it was.
I mean,
And it has a lot of different. If you listen to it on the surface, it does.
yeah. I mean, for me, sometimes it'll be like that. It's like, I've never really gone with the intention. There's a lot of people who write to where they're like, I want to talk about this subject, I want to speak on this topic, but
Right.
every time, and my brother does the same thing too. He'll hear me make beats. He's like, bro, are you even gonna hop on that? I was like, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. I was like, maybe a month from now.
Working as you go.
Right. So I made the beat handful of weeks ago, probably, because I can make 3-5 beats,
Right,
however
right,
many I
right.
want in a sitting. So when I came back to that, that's just what came to mind.
Right.
It was something I was experiencing at the time. That was me separating from somebody who I had in my life for like 10 plus years over some other stuff.
Right.
I won't get into the drama
No, we
because
don't
that
need
person's
to.
not here. You get me? Like,
I'm talking about the art that's connected to all this.
yeah.
For the record, I want
But
you to understand
yeah,
that.
the structure of it really was like 138-33 is expressing that change from starting adulting. You get me?
Right.
Which seems like a basic topic, but that's what I was going through.
Right.
Because of me, that's my relationship falling apart. Me trying to do everything to fix that together, and the last one is me realizing that a friendship that I had was coming to an end. That's what Tennessee Road was about.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I say. That I took that project in specific because 808s and Heartbreaks wouldn't be amazing if Kanye didn't go through what he went through on that album. So, on surface value, we may just say, oh, it's a heartbreak, all this. But then a person that's really listening to music understands and values that
like,
whole...
oh, he's telling his story.
Right, exactly. The whole story there.
I appreciate
Moving
that.
forward, growing up with your brother.
Right.
I'm close with my brother very, 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 very much. I started my show because of my brother 5 years ago.
No shit.
So yeah, the love that you have for your brother and your family is dope, and I adore it. And I even respect the fact that you walk around with a picture of your mother in your wallet and your brother.
Bruh, how you? Oh, okay, that's crazy. Yeah.
But I like that, bro. I like that.
Yeah, I had that for a minute, bro. I still have the picture somewhere. I ended up getting I have a pit bull now. I have a dog, and she ain't get him to that wallet. So she chewed up like a corner of it, but I still have it in my room. Yeah, that was a Christmas picture from when I was like.
You need to scan it before it gets messed up anywhere else.
Yeah, nah, my mom has more copies of it, bro. My mom used to like photo album everything. So
but that one stays in your wallet.
That one will stay. Dude, I had
that
them in my wallet since my first wallet, which I got maybe at like 9, 10 years or whatever that looked like when they were like, here, here's $5 to put in it. Exactly, yeah.
Talking about your brother and talking about music, I always butcher people's lyrics. I'm not a rapper, so
go ahead.
Bear with me. I butcher everybody. Eminem. It doesn't matter who it is.
Mm.
You do it for the gram. I just do this for my mother. His father ain't around. Gotta be there for my brother. If you ever try to touch him, you better run and duck for cover.
Yeah.
That song, how you feel?
Yeah.
I like it.
I appreciate it.
There's a lot of manifestation in that music.
Nah, for sure. For sure.
You were very aggressive in that song.
Yeah, I think it's my most aggressive one. It's actually done well across like all platforms for me. So
I understood the aggression and
yeah.
Can I put a request in? Do some more like that.
I got more. I got more like that I've been writing, that I've been recording too.
Cause I like when humble people come
talk
aggressive.
Shit,
yeah, it's dope.
That's like a balance that I've been trying to find too with my music. There's times I'm like, am I too emotional? Am I too far in this pocket where I'm like, do I gotta mix it up? But sometimes like I take it for what it is. It's like, if this is what I'm creating right now, it's what I'm creating. That night, I think that was when I went on like a 4-week run. I was dropping a song a week for like a month. It wasn't too crazy, but just in that pocket, I guess I felt like talking my shit, right. And that's really what it was. I mean, when it comes to growing up, my brothers, like his father hasn't been around since we were super young. Mm-hmm. I want to say since he was like 6 or 8 years old. That's a delicate subject, you know. But that's what I've always had to be. My mom's always had to tell me, like, you gotta be able to take care of him. So even now, especially now at 25, after going through everything, I'm constantly trying to give him advice, constantly seeing what he's going through and how I can help. But even more so, I try to lead by example. Because, you know, a lot of people say, do as I say, not as I do. But at the end of the day, whatever moves I make or anything I do in this life, he's always going to be watching nonetheless. Right. So I've got to like do my best to achieve what I want to achieve so he understands that it's possible.
Lead by example. Right. That's a fact. I mean, I'm a father of 2, 3. Right. And I was a big brother, and my parents weren't really around for me and my siblings. So like I catch how you treat your brother, and I'm like, I can relate to that. And I keep expressing that. And like you said just now, where you said, am I too emotional, man? Listen, you could be emotional and aggressive. Drake.
Right. I mean, no, and that's the main inspiration for everything. Yeah. That's even why I did like the whole Tennessee Road title. Mm-hmm. Just something that's all rap, and he mentions a street or somewhere that he's been. That's why I wanted to even do that. And that's where I get caught in those pockets where I'm like, man, he knows how to talk his shit. How do I talk my shit? Because then, like you said, like I'm super humble. I'm never flashy, and I can't keep it gangster because that's not how I move. You get what I'm saying? Like whatever you want to call it, but.
You ain't gotta be gangster to be aggressive.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I've learned too. More so too. You know,
you're gonna be proud about what you know and what you're good at.
That's more of what it is. Yeah, that I've just been embracing more of who I am, and then how to put that into words onto a track lately. You know,
I think God puts me in humble people's lives, like my boy Matt over there and my boy Robbie. Like those are, like I say, top 10. Like you're on their category. Like, but I like hanging with humble people because. First of all, it makes me relax at the same time.
Yeah.
But it also like gives me the opportunity to make sure that y'all know, like a lot of humble people are usually always talented, like overly talented, and they don't
understand that.
They don't even understand it because they're so humble in it. So I think like God put me in a place to
like the gas up, you know, yeah.
So on the fighting scene versus Goku and Vegeta when y'all was kids, who won? First of all, who was Goku? Who was Vegeta?
You know, bro, who was it? I was Goku. I was probably Goku every time. But then I really like Broly and I really like Trunks, so I flip flop. I would actually, bro. We were talking about this not that long ago. We used to have like all the action figures, bro. And we would like play out scenes, bro. We'd sit there for like 2 hours making a whole movie, doing the whole thing. My character would never die. His died all the time.
How much older are you?
We're 4 years apart.
4 years, okay. 4 years apart, more or less me and my brother.
Yeah.
A lot of influences growing up. Linkin Park being one of them.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I think that is Linkin Park for you.
Yeah.
Being like, do you understand how influential Linkin Park really is?
Maybe not because I understand because of the pocket of time that they were making music in. And that influenced me a lot. I want to say Meteora was like the first CD I ever got. Like I remember my mom coming home and putting me onto that. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace, Chester Bennington. When he passed, my mom was on the couch, distraught, playing the music, crying. Yeah, the whole thing. So that my mom always put us on the music. That's just one of the earliest ones.
Can I give you a fun fact with Chester real quick?
Go ahead.
Did you know he did a song with Young Buck called Slow Your Roll?
No.
Beautiful song. Listen to it.
Okay.
Go ahead. Keep going.
I got you. But yeah, that was one of the first things that she put us on because our mom like always listened to rock, or she grew up in the 80s, so music was like
big.
huge. Yeah, obviously it's
Right.
huge today. But in the 80s, that's what you lived to.
Right.
You know, she used to go to roller skating rinks. She listened to freestyle. She would do like everything. So growing up, like in her Chrysler Pacifica, she would spin everything. She would burn her own CDs. She wasn't even like the album type. I don't even think we ever listened to an album top to bottom besides probably like Linkin Park.
Right.
But she would pick her 15, 20 favorite songs and just burn them onto a CD, and that's what we would spin.
That's kind of dope because you had like you was getting the flavor of everything in one.
Yeah, so I mean, she's a big radio listener. I actually just got her to start using like Apple Music. She's like, "Where can I listen to your stuff?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm everywhere." I'm like, "You're just not streaming nothing. Here you go." So I put her on like the Apple Music shit. Mom. Yeah, but she put us on everything. Like when she started falling in love with rap and everything too, like she put us on the Wayne when like Fireman came out, and she was just always listen. She was like a hit listener because of the radio. You get me? Mm-hmm. So me and my brother had to dive into albums of certain artists as we got older.
To do work.
Yeah, because it'll be a hit, and then you go to another artist and it's their hit, and you get what I'm saying? She would just make compilations.
Inside of the Pacifica, you probably had a bunch of, now that's what I call blank.
Essentially, yeah.
That was all the hits.
Bro, she would just, like the little mirrors, I don't know what to call
it.
Like that you pull down, boom, and on both sides, she had the CD racks, and then you go to her room, she had the CD.
So you were young enough to hit a speed bump and the CD skips and the music?
Type, you know?
So you still, you're young enough, but you're
I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle, yeah.
But you had a good mom because she was giving you music, bro. She wasn't like, you know,
absolutely.
Music is like a gift that if you give to your kids, it's gonna go a long way because it teaches you so much culture. It gives you genuineness, you know.
Right.
It's more just music
and expression too. I've been writing songs probably since I was like 7. Obviously, no beats, no nothing like that, but just her playing it and a mix of everything. She'll go on, she'll play R&B stuff. She was playing rap stuff again, like the freestyle, like that whole '80s sound. She was playing rock. She was playing a little bit of everything. I'm not gonna say everything transferred, like in terms of inspiration. But whatever stuck to me really stuck with me.
Right.
To where I was writing at that young of an age. I tell her, "Oh, Mom, come to the back room, like at my grandfather's house, and I'll rap something." I would have like the little notebooks that don't like that big.
Right.
Yeah. So she put the battery in my back like really young.
You listen to Fort Minor?
Who?
Fort Minor? You didn't listen to Fort Minor. See, so you didn't know Linkin Park that well.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I got put on early. Mike Shinoda. You know Mike Shinoda? That's in Linkin Park.
He's the engineer and
the
one
rapper.
Who would rap and everything too.
So
yeah.
That was his rap name.
No shit.
Yeah, so go check it out. That's a dope album.
I started really understanding how much he did for the group.
Yes.
When
a lot.
Because I go back to interviews, documentaries and stuff when they did the whole collab with Jay-Z. I was like,
well, that's what I was getting to. You see, so you brought my next topic.
Right, look, segue. But I seen him. He's using the board and he's like bringing it up. He's like, all right, I'm gonna have you punch in here. And bro, even knowing how to cut and splice vocals or even the beat in there is complicated as hell. And just what he was doing and just knowing everything, I was like, oh shit, like he did way more than I thought he did.
That's why I said you growing up and using Linkin Park as an influence to just part of your music, you were ahead of your time without even knowing because Linkin Park was so versatile. Yeah. And they had so many different things. Like it was crazy. It's crazy. Like I could just do a whole episode of Linkin Park with you now.
Right.
But go back.
Yeah, you'd educate me a lot on it for sure.
And you'll love it. You'll love it.
No, for sure.
I could just give you shit and then you'll go back because you're with the younger generation where you'll do more homework and find out more than I know.
Because we got more to look at. It's not in the moment. It's like we can go binge it. You know?
Right. You binge it. That's what y'all do.
Yeah.
So it was Linkin Park. It was Fireman, Lil Wayne. And then some way and how, I don't know how it happens, and then my guy Matt's here, they're going to make fun of me, they get Russ.
Right.
Russ.
That ended up, his influence came in when I started making music.
Got you.
As in, I want to say it's 2017, his like debut album came out, and like that album came out like May, and at the top of that year,
Is that when he first came out? That's when you started listening to him?
That's when I really got invested in him.
Gotcha.
I would like he had like that Losing Control song, like his biggest hit ever. That came out, and I was seeing that all over Twitter. And I would spin it, but I never like dove into him as an artist. Didn't know why. I was in college at the time, so I wasn't like. I was already experimenting with music because my other brother. I actually have 2 other brothers.
Okay.
I'm the oldest still. I had a brother who was making beats, so he came over one day. He brought his whole PC.
You guys are all just like artists in the family.
Yeah,
goddamn, bro.
No, that's how it goes. I have my youngest brother. He's gonna go to Montana for music, like University of Montana.
Right.
Like so, that's
dope.
It's somewhere in the blood. You get me?
Right.
But he came to the house one day, and obviously this is the time where the SoundCloud era is like everybody's blowing up. So we're seeing like Lil Pump and Smoke Perp.
X.
Right.
Trippy.
X, exactly. Yeah, that era. I mean,
I'm not that old.
Right. You got it. But with like we would see Lil Pump and Smoke Perp, and it was never inspiration. It was just like, bro, if they can do it, yo, we got it.
Anybody got it.
Anybody got it.
Right.
That's really why we did it. So we were already experimenting with making music because my little brother was putting in on stuff. We were recording in the garage on like a Yeti microphone. It was terrible.
But that was popping.
But that's because we were trying to do it. Yeah, music has always been in the system, but it was never like a tangible goal. Russ just happened to be the person who made it tangible. Because I heard, I listened to his debut album, and I'm able to go to his catalog. He has over 200 songs at the time. And, you watch one interview, and he gave me the whole setup. As in, like, he's like, I have a MacBook, I have an Apollo Twin, I use this mic, whatever. And I was like, we going to the store. And
get all that.
And that's how I got a MacBook.
He was doing instructions.
Right. He laid the blueprint for everything when it comes to creating the sound. I never understood what a studio was growing up or anything like that. And I was like, dude, I could do it from the crib. That's even better.
So hold that thought.
Right.
Pause. Drinking question.
Oh, shit.
We're on Russ.
Okay.
What 3 states did Russ live in before being raised in Georgia?
New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, kill me. Because he lived somewhere like short, I think it was.
You got one more. You on the money. You got one more. He's drinking water because he's just ready to take the shot. He's like, you know what?
That's what I'm saying. Bro,
I got a Red Bull to chase him.
I'm going to get pissed. Jersey, North Carolina. Then he went to Atlanta.
I'm going to make it fair, and I'm going to drink this one for you, even though I think you're going to get the next one, or you may not. But I'll drink this one for you. Kentucky.
Bro, oh yeah, fuck me, yeah,
Kentucky.
Yeah.
So you found out where the studio was. Go ahead, keep going, keep the story going. Bro. Nah, go ahead.
I'll take a double one off camera. Don't even worry about it.
Go. So you find out that you don't need a studio. You buy all the equipment.
Yeah, and I was making music with some friends at the time. Friends that I referenced in like the Tennessee Rose song.
Right.
And yeah, that he's really again another person who put the battery in my back and said, okay, this is tangible, like. All the idols you look up, like, bro, growing up, Kanye's Kanye.
Right. Up there.
You start listening to Drake. I think I started listening to Drake probably 2009, like Thank Me Later type deal. So it's like, everybody's already up here. You think.
In a nutshell, he made you believe it was possible.
Yeah, because you can go back to song 1 and understand how, and then the mixing isn't the best. And he had to get to a certain point with his mixes, and then he would give instructions on how he mixes stuff or how to sample stuff and chop stuff up. Like, I was able to see it all. You get me? So you can go back and watch it all happen, even after the blow up. Like, even when making beats, he's who made me want to make beats because when we were rapping with friends, we're doing all, like, type beats on YouTube and everything.
So you and Russ shared a sample?
No.
You made a sample. He made a sample.
So what happened was, and my brother recognized it. I didn't even recognize it. He did like his Chomp 2.5.
Shout out to my brother.
Shout out to my brother. My brother has an ear for everything.
Yeah.
Bro. He's put me on so much too. On I think it's like the second track or something like that. Static Selector, who made the beat, used a sample that I found off a Tracklib, and I had made a beat for it like a week ago. He's like, bro, pause it. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you got a beat with that. I was like, what are you talking about, bro? No, I don't. He's like, dude, whatever you made last week, pull it up. And we went like to 3 different beats, and then I pulled it up. I was like, oh shit, I am using the same sample. he's like, bro, we gotta make this a moment. He's like, get it on your phone, make it happen. Yeah. He actually edited that like little whole concept video and everything because he know how to do all the content.
You like the manager, borderline hype man type
low
shit.
Key. He knows how to put everything together.
Right.
But yeah,
that's dope, bro. That's dope.
Yeah, no, it is great, bro, because like I'm able to go to him if I need anything done or even artistically. For anything artistically, I treat him like my Rick Rubin. I'm like, bro,
that's what I was just gonna say. He seems like he's far from a yes man. Like he will tell you straight out some shit is...
No, he's laughed at my shit too. He's still laughed at my shit too. But I always say, I just made something dope. Come listen to it. And if I don't get a positive reaction out of him, I start scratching my head. I'm like, fuck, I gotta go back to the drawing board. So I seek a lot of his approval. I know it should always be me. There's times he says, I don't know about that, and I was like, you're crazy. This is awesome.
Nah, but y'all brothers, so y'all kind of like one.
I gotta have the balance. Yeah, for sure.
So what came first? Was it the writing? and the rapping, or the producing and the beat making?
So technically writing, because I've been, again, since like 7 years old. When I had a certain assignments where I could do poetry, I could do whatever, I was doing that.
Right.
Even like one of my last projects in high school, like I asked teacher, I'm like, I could rap, I could do that, and I made a rap on like The Great Gatsby. Like,
you had to perform it, or you just wrote it?
No, I had to like it was a terrible performance, but I got to perform it.
And you weren't nervous or nothing?
Oh no, hell yeah. Yeah. That's why it was terrible. Like, 'cause I didn't practice at all. I wrote it, and I was able to write it. As soon as she said, yeah, by the next period, I already had 2 pages.
And in your brain, you was like Jay-Z singing it.
Right. So it's always been there. But when it came to actually making music, the writing didn't really come first. I was the engineer essentially for the 2 friends that I had, basically staying in my house.
Okay.
Or at least one of them was at my house every day. One was actually staying with me.
Right.
So I was engineering everything. So I would stay up later. If I woke up and somebody was either they're out the crib or they're on Xbox, I wake up, crawl out of bed. I ain't even brush my teeth yet, and I'm on the computer looking at 50 million tutorials. So I was engineering first. Dope. I think that's why my sound has come so far the way it is, because I've been able to experiment and do everything myself.
Right.
Obviously without hardware, I'm just doing it off the laptop. And then producing came in.
It's like internship with nobody, internship with yourself.
Right. So I wasn't even recording myself yet. I was recording them and just playing with stuff.
Kind of like a Kanye story a little bit.
Low key, we were thinking that. We watched the documentary like a few months ago. Shame on me for not watching it earlier, but that then
it's parallel.
Right, but that changed my whole perspective on everything, because then I started making my own beats too, and that was terrible. At first, because I didn't understand what quantizing was, or what the hell BPM was. BPM, I'm still 50-50. My other brother, Sebastian, he could hear a song and say, that's 82 BPM right there. And I'm like, bro, you're crazy. I'm like, whatever it is, go ahead. And sure enough, you could put it in the DAW, BPM tracking is that. But when it came to making beats, I was struggling because I was trying to do it the same way I was engineering, watching tutorials, and he's putting the EQ. But it wasn't the same. Who taught me how to make beats was technically like J. Cole. Right. I came across all his little clips of him producing in the studio, and he's just bobbing his head and he's like chopping the sample on the piano, and I was like, oh, so that's how you do it. You just groove to it. But he had like the metronome going, so he would be at a pace. I was like, okay, so that's the pace I like. And I started chopping samples first.
The metronome gives you the BPM.
Right. Yeah. So that's what really taught me how to do it. I never did good with like the whole, this is how you make a hip hop beat.
No, you have to feel it, bro. Long story short, like, you got to feel it.
Right, exactly.
And you sat there, you said, okay, this is how you cook, but not everybody knows how to put the sauce and the flavors.
Exactly, and he did. So so a lot of the way I chop my samples are a way J. Cole would, if that makes sense. I don't really have the same bounce that he does on his drums, because his drums to me are like super unique, but like the way the samples are chopped and like how they'll be 4-bar, 8-bar, like I'll try to do.
What do you enjoy more?
What, sampling or?
No, making the beats and producing, or rapping and writing?
No, all of them.
There got to be one more. What do you lean towards more? What do you feel more comfortable with? There has to be some.
More comfortable? Yeah. I would probably say making beats.
Okay.
Just because there's times he walks in my room and I'll make something in 5 minutes. There's other times it could take me an hour depending on how intricate I want to get, but that's what comes most naturally to me. And engineering is right there now too, to where I finally figured out a vocal chain that I could throw on and then just tweak it if I need to, you know.
Did you go to college for anything of that? No.
That's another story too. When I initially dropped out of FIU,
another Kanye parallel, college dropout.
Right. When I initially dropped out, my mom was like, well, you want to do this music shit, why don't we look for a music school? And I actually went to like Brickell or something like that, wherever the hell I was. And I went to like 2 different music schools. And one of them, it was just not what I wanted. I just want to know how to engineer. I'm like, that's the only thing I'm missing. I can make beats. I know how to write. I know how to rap. But they're like, we want to teach you photography and videography. And
it was artistic school. Yeah.
Right. Which if you can be a one-man army, go right ahead. That's not what you wanted. At the time, though, maybe I was too immature to understand that. Because like looking back, I'm like, bro, it would have put me at an advantage. But I knew what I wanted. I was like, I just need to get better at this craft, and everything else will fall into place.
And we'll get to that, because there's going to be something that's tied into that. But next, drinking question. You ready?
Oh, shit.
This one you really have to take right or wrong. Oh, I took your wrong one.
That's right.
In 2014, Russ's track, Murder Me.
Wow.
Okay. Who do you sample on that track? You're going to get that one wrong. I'm
going to get that one wrong. I know the project. I got the cover in my head, too.
It was the Beatles and Tupac.
That's crazy.
Go listen to that one.
All right, I'm drinking. That's crazy.
You can take half if you want. I know you're not.
Oh, I don't want to move this.
No, go ahead. You're good. You want a little Red Bull a little Red Bull to chase down with? No,
I ain't tripping.
No? All right, there you go. So let's get into Russ since my brother Matt's here. Russ is your influence, and I respect Russ. Me personally, I just
hate Russ.
No, he loves Russ. I don't like.
Shout
Russ.
Out to you. Thank God.
I'm the one that don't.
Oh shit! I ain't even even come in the room. My dog. Okay,
that's bad.
I'm
crazy. The one that they give me a hard time to forcing to like Russ.
You're tripping.
Now, huh?
You're tripping.
Yeah, I'm super tripping to you guys.
Yeah.
But I'm never falling. I'm always tripping, but never falling.
All right. You smooth with that. Right.
It's not that I don't like Russ, his music, his craft, his I respect him.
You watch a lot of interviews. You don't like the way he talks.
That and his music is not for me. And I'm not saying his music is bad.
Fair. Right.
But I do think that it's 50-50. So I do think that the people that respect him and love him have the reason to respect and love him. But then also I don't want you to get mad at me. I think he's overrated. I really think he's, and I don't say it in a disrespectful
I wouldn't say over,
but I respect him.
I'm sure he would agree. We think underrated. Because
yeah, for sure. They tell me this.
He's a household name probably for the wrong reasons, just because of the whole hate train that happened with him.
Yes,
but when it comes to doing this shit,
I ran with that too, just to let you know. The hate train, yeah.
That's crazy.
They were every morning.
I argue with them once a week. a week.
Oh yeah, so it was a home. One week out of every month, I was like literally post on my social media. Is it still fuck Russ, everybody?
That is hashtag. Crazy.
I'm just asking though.
But be real. You didn't feel corny for that?
Yeah, not
people
corny.
Will call him corny, but people will be. You know
not corny. I felt like all right. So now that I'm older.
Right.
And now that I've interviewed a bunch of people and I've been in the industry and I've been with celebrities and things like that.
Right.
I have came to the understanding that you have to understand like negative influence is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, some people just look at it, because your generation is any kind of publicity is good publicity.
Yeah. No, people will be haters for fun.
Right. So us older people, we forget that. And we're not understanding, yo, this, you really gonna influence that, you know?
Right. So you were just like dabbling in the realm.
I was doing like fuck with it. Yeah. No, I was fucking, everybody did it. I never even listened to one of his songs. And I was saying,
wow,
is it fuck Russ? Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it humbled me, but like I always said, it's not that I don't like him. I don't even know the dude.
Nah, if the music ain't for you and the person ain't for you, that's cool. Because there's artists that like, I really won't listen to the music, but sometimes they'll speak. I'll watch an interview, I'll be like, bro, you're super dope. So listen, or vice versa. Like Brent Faiyaz sounds fire, but when he talks in an interview, I don't really get much out of him.
Well, perfect example. People my age don't even understand NBA YoungBoy or like him. Right. But then me, I'm one of the very older people that I like him. Right. I like what he stands for in his business. As streetwise, I'm not gonna get into that, but how he has been able to keep that wave going, being right. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think it's because he puts out so much music. Right. I think he's one of those people who's prolific. Like, right. Give him 10 beats and he can make 10 songs. You get what I'm saying? Like,
and make them pop.
Right. You get what I'm saying?
10 for 10.
Because he's one of those people. It's like you hear his voice, you know who that is.
Right.
And I think that's what's super important as an artist. That if you're not distinguishable, that's going to be an issue for you. You get what I'm saying? So even the same thing with me, like early music or even some songs that I've made for fun, I'm like, I had to take the idea of like, all right, how would Drake say this? How would Cole say this? I'm like, okay, how would I say this shit? And then I got to get comfortable with that. So he's one of those people that he came into the game rapping like himself. And it's like, okay, so he's able to just be super consistent with that. So I can respect, I don't really listen to him anymore.
Right.
I was listening to him probably like 2018. Shame on me, probably, you know, because he can rap his ass off. Right. But like, I still can respect game where it is.
Of course. So what's a must before you get in the studio? Like,
I gotta clean the hell out of my room every time. I have to like dust my shit, dust my equipment.
So everything has to be like immaculate.
Right.
So you got OCD, borderline OCD.
I gotta light a candle. You feel me? I got like a little bottle collection. I gotta make sure that's cool. You feel me? That's like a must before I get into the studio. Because if I don't do that, like I'll just be overstimulated by the room. Because it's in my room. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but I treated the walls, I did everything. So it's a studio, but it's also like, all right, I gotta make sure, like,
sure, yeah.
I gotta feel professional with it, you know.
So you keep it, you're smart enough and respectable enough that you keep it like an actual business, like it's not a fuck off, like
no, hell no, yeah, no. I go in there and like I treat it as such, like I gotta respect my craft, and by doing so, I gotta make sure like that the space that I'm in is clean, is professional, you know, to where I can create. Because there's times I go in there and I'll try to be making something, and it just won't click.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Gemini.
Okay, I'm making sure because I don't know none of that stuff is.
Oh, no. But
for people that are watching, they're going to judge you on that. Comment below about Gemini.
Yeah, no, you're going to hate me like everybody else does. And that's cool. That's cool, though. Everybody, like, has this whole two-faced concept with it. But everybody, like, Kanye's a Gemini.
Yeah.
I
just found out Trump is a Gemini.
Don't even
Kodak Black is a Gemini.
Kodak, I'll rock
Tupac's a Gemini.
No shit, didn't know that one. Yeah.
There's a couple.
That's what I'm saying. So, I used to really like Jeezy back in high school.
Oh,
like that.
Damn, there you go, Matt.
Right.
I'm a big Jeezy fan.
Bro,
Jeezy's the best from Atlanta.
I was saying G-Eazy.
Oh.
We were listening to my mom was playing Jeezy.
God damn it.
Nah, So
well, don't aggravate me with Jeezy, but go ahead, keep going.
My fault. Damn, I already lost my train of thought on that.
You was listening to Jeezy.
Nah, we'd have to go before that.
What are you talking about?
What was I talking about?
Damn, that shot's kicking in already on you.
Apparently so. But
moving forward to go backwards.
Go on. Yeah.
The studio. What has been the hardest obstacle when it comes to this music thing for you so far? Yourself.
Myself first and foremost. Yeah. Because I see people do and I see people find success. So I don't think it's something that isn't tangible anymore. I used to have this like hope that I would just blow up or get signed or get whatever, but I've really come to realize that it's just the amount of work that you put in. And I would do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, bro, I gotta get the LLC, and what is my merch gonna look like, and what do I do, whatever. And my brother and my friend Gabe would just be like, you need the music first. That has to be at the forefront of it. And for a while, I was making stuff, deleting stuff, making it, vaulting it, whatever, because it was like, I didn't want to share it. I didn't feel good enough, right? Or I wasn't confident. I think I've always struggled with my confidence when it comes to every avenue of my life. So when it came to music, music is like the purest form of anybody's self, like as an artist.
Correct.
So you want to make sure that when you put a song out or when somebody gets to listen to you, they're getting you truthfully, like 100%. So it's not to say I was lying or doing anything in my raps, but I was like, am I going to be accepted?
That confidence. Okay, so that's my question. So the lack of confidence that you had, did that come from you fearing or giving low expectations to your peers, or is that feeling yourself, or is what is that?
It was myself. I think it stems because growing up I was bullied a lot.
Okay.
So it was always a fear of judgment, but it was always like the people I look up to are the greats. You get what I'm saying? So it's like if I start this journey, that's what I'm aiming for. So it's like anything I feel that I'm selling myself short, I'm like, it's not good enough, I can't put it out. Versus, again, my brother will remind me not to bring him up so much, but that's like my backbone.
Yeah.
He'll tell me, he's like, bro, you're trying to rap like somebody who's done this for 20 years. He's like, you know, you're barely doing your 5th year in this. He's like, rap how or make music how you can right now with what you have. You know? I had like where I work now, I had a customer come in. His name is Todd. Shout out to him. He told me, he's like, a lot of people say, you know, do the best you can. He's like, but sometimes you don't have the resources or knowledge to do so. He's like, so do the best with what you have. So that spoke like volumes to me. I was like, oh, you're right. So it's like the best I can. I don't know what that is yet. Obviously, I can do it in the moment, but that's doing the best with what I have, not with what I can. You get me?
Facts, and that makes sense. It really does make sense. I mean, you're always gonna be in the position of the position you're in. I don't know if that's makes sense.
Right now, you're only gonna be in the present moment.
Right. So in the position while you're in, you have to make the best out of it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's more or less how it can.
It's doing the best you can, but really it's with what you have.
What you have.
Because the best you can, I can visualize a song and it can sound cinematic and it can sound up here and, oh, I'm rapping at this level. But sometimes I get to the studio, and not to say I'm not doing that or I don't think my shit is good, but it's like, bro, this is the best with what you have right now. Or I used to get caught up in, oh, I gotta buy the compressor first, and I gotta buy a preamp, and I gotta buy this.
But you're not putting in no work.
Exactly. It's like, bro, you have the speakers, you have the mic, go.
Put in some work.
You know?
Right. Every day you're rushing me, but this don't happen overnight. You say this takes a toll, but I'm not the one that pays the price. Or I am the one.
I'm the one who pays the price.
Pain. I fuck with that track.
First song.
Huh?
First song.
I know.
Yeah.
First one putting on official record, I'm sure. Because
yeah.
Sure you have music.
No, I was making more like back in 2017, 2018. Yeah, that's the first one I put out. That's like a message to my mom. That's like, my mom has this pressure where she's like, if you're gonna do something, get it done. And my mom thinks it's like you kind of make it happen real snappy. And it's like, yo, like, this is the thing where I've told her, I was like, I don't know when this is going to blow up. And that doesn't matter to me. I'm going to do this regardless because it's something I feel like I have to do.
It's a passion.
Right. So it's like, this doesn't happen overnight. You know, you say it takes a toll, but I'm the one who pays the price because you're like, you know, you want to do everything for your mom. Your mom, your family, you want to take care of everybody. And it's like, while you're waiting to quote unquote being taken care of, if that makes sense, or like, oh, or I want my son to accomplish this thing. It's like, I have to deal with the stress, the anxiety, the emotions that come with doing this. Because as an artist, our emotions fluctuate. You make a song, you feel like you're on top of the world. You go a day without making a song, and you question your existence. So,
see how I pointed out the most important factor? God damn, I'm good.
You is. You're doing your thing.
Never thought I would see my friends hate. Never thought the song.
Right.
What friends?
The friends that I had that I was recording music with first. Again, I'm not gonna go into
we don't get into detail. Right.
Bro, I still
because even on the song you said you're not gonna put no ill will out there to them.
Right, bro. Like even in songs that I have written now, if I like tip the hat to them, I got no hate in my heart for them.
Right.
At the moment, maybe I did not while making that song, but when everything was going down, it was just one of those things where it was more than just music getting in the way of that relationship. Life was going into different avenues for me.
And it wasn't only your friends on that song. You stated dad and mom. You tried to go with the dad.
Right. I tried to, that was a whole part of it. Like I think at the end of 2018 or 2019, like I moved to my dad's house. I was just trying to experience change. I didn't like where I was. I was being somewhere stagnant. I was making the music, but obviously I wasn't going nowhere yet. So I didn't even my first song didn't even come out till 2019. So we're talking like a year of me making songs, deleting songs, making beats, putting them in this folder, cooking, just trying to figure out my sound before I even got one out.
Right.
So during that time period, I was just doing everything. I moved with my dad. I started losing contact with these people, and it was just something I was going through. And I look back on it now, I could have handled it better. But I was 20.
Right.
So I'm sitting here thinking,
what's done is done, and it is what it is.
Exactly. I could have communicated everything better. It went the way that it should based on the universe and everything, but I don't hold ill will to those people. Good. It's just I was seeing them start to say certain things. We all have mutual friends and stuff, but I have no bad beef with them.
No, and that's the beautiful thing about humble people, and that's why another reason why I try to surround myself around humble people, because unfortunately I'm a type of person where I'm 50-50.
Right.
I love you or I hate you.
Right.
I can't love you and hate you at the same time. I can't remember. It's, you know how they say forgive and
forgive and forget. Yeah.
I'm black and white. I'm not gray. So I'll do anything for you. If you're my homie or you're my friend, I'm gonna do anything.
Yeah.
But if you fuck me, bro.
Yeah. But I wasn't even scorned like that in the situation.
No, everything scorns me. That's what the thing about me. Everything.
I can't do that.
You could take a piece of paper from me and bro,
you took my paper, bro. You get what I'm saying?
What was your intent behind that paper?
That's what I think.
Did you want to give me a paper cut and cut my neck and slit my throat and kill me?
Right? Is that what you was trying to do? Were you plotting?
Yeah, I overthink shit too much. Yeah, and that's my own.
I do too, but I've come to a point now where it's not just forgive and forget. It's just more of maturity. I can't. It's not even just maturity. I can't harbor that no more. I can't sit with that too long because.
And I'm not there no more. I'm.
You're a better man.
Yeah. Right. I'm letting you know,
nah, we both in a better position of handling that stuff.
That's why I like hanging out with humble people, because y'all help me with that.
Exactly, because it's bro, all the energy you're expending, hating this person or thinking negatively of this person, that's the same. You either pick positive or negative.
Correct.
When you want to move, something.
Oof.
If you're doing negative the whole time, you're not gonna have anything in the tank to do nothing positive.
And you're gonna be nothing but negative
the whole time. And that's what was messing me up in that window where I wasn't putting much out, or everything I was writing was too emotional because I was harboring it too long. And even writing it wasn't helping it. You get me?
When the pain inside of your chest start to climb out your throat and you got a lot to say, scared, and you got
a lot to say, but you said you're gonna choke because the people that surround you saying you're the only hope.
The hours.
Yeah. My most recent joint.
That's those bars right there. Break it down because they're very, very important.
For me, it's
Sorry, I butchered it too.
Nah, bro.
I gave you the beginning.
You're good. I started butchering it at the end too. When it came to that song, man, it was something I was thinking of in the beginning. Is why it's so hard to tell my story when there's so much on my mind. And it was one of those times where I was sometimes I'll struggle to write. I'll be honest, like I'll struggle to, because for me everything does have to have meaning. So that's why I say, like, if you're scared you're gonna choke, because every time I get on a song, or every time I want somebody to hear me, it needs to be a message. Because I have numbers that go up. They may not go dramatically, but every day the number moves, which means I have people living with my shit, even if it's a small amount of people. So, you know, when you have your family watching you, your friends watching you, you have people believing in you more than you do in yourself. You want to do everything in your power to not let those people down. You get what I mean? So it's one of those situations where it's like when you step up to the plate, it's got to be a home run.
It's bittersweet, right?
It's bittersweet because you put it out and it'll do great and it'll sit with people just like how you wanted. But it's like I had to go to an emotional place for me to get that out. But and that's the honest truth.
The next part is, now, how do I maintain and make y'all happy still?
Exactly. Because I mean, I've done that too, where I've had to like divide my time however I can divide it. If I got 6 hours left in the day, if I got a ratio it, 4 is going to go to music and 2 is going to go to family.
Right.
And that's where, like the conversation earlier, where of like where your balance is with your life.
Right.
So I have to be able to, not seeing the family puts me in the emotional state to write the music that I want to make. But at the same time, I want to be with the family. Right. So it's like it's going to seesaw the whole time, you know?
You're talking to a man that has 29 hours of work and projects and family and happiness out of 24 hours in a day. So
you gotta juggle it. You gotta juggle it. You have to. And you switch the hat when you have to. There's people who divide their schedule top to bottom. I'm like, bro, like I haven't got to that point yet, but I feel like that would make it too strict, putting everything on paper and whatever. But I gotta go with what feels right in the moment.
Always remember to put yourself first, though. I can tell you that.
Nah, that's something I've had to figure out recently too. I've had to figure that out recently in the last couple of years.
Put yourself first, even if those 30 minutes are the most significant 30 minutes where you take time to remind yourself who you are and what you do things for. Always put yourself first. Can't be good for nobody if you ain't good for yourself.
You're right. You're right.
Have you worked with anybody locally in Miami, Homestead, anything like that?
I've worked with like, I want to say like 4 people.
Okay.
It's not a whole lot, because I've always thought like my sound was different from where we're from.
Right.
Which I used to think was a disadvantage, but I realize it is an advantage now because I know I can stand out.
Correct.
But the people I've worked with are people that are a little closer to me. Like I've worked with, I don't know if you follow him too. His name is Tone, like solely Tone. I've worked with him. We have a track together that just never saw the light of day. We were just never satisfied with the mix or the recording. He's super meticulous with his work too.
Is that the guy you were promoting that just did a video like 6 months ago?
I want to say
sent it to me.
Maybe that was him, because he had like a little snippet that he put up, because I want to say his
video.
He had an album come out like 3 months ago, so maybe I did.
Okay.
But he's super dope, and we've had like just life conversations when we talked, and he's one of the only people who has come to my studio. Gotcha. Like when I stayed at that apartment, and I've made a song in front of, like, I've only recorded in front of a handful of people. Him, my boy Sean, or We're Savvy, he's come through. But not really collaboratively too much. I've just mixed like 3 or 4 of his songs, and he's put those out. I have another friend of mine, Juju. He's trying to make music. I'm encouraging him to come to the studio.
So not only are you rapping, you're actually producing for people as well, still, or no?
I sent Tone like a whole beat pack. Okay. I want to say probably a month or 2 ago.
But you're not heavy on that right now.
I'm not heavy on it right now because I've always believed in the same thing. If you can't take care of yourself, how you gonna take care of anybody else? I'm like, bro, I don't have enough in the artillery right now to say I can lend a hand to you. Right. And it's not to say I'm helping somebody and it's charity work or nothing. But it's like, yo, like I got so much I'm trying to do right now. Let me get comfortable in that state to where I say, yo, I can break off some time for you and I can make this happen. You know?
Right. 2 artists, 1 dead, 1 alive. No salary cap. You do a feature. 1 dead, 1 alive. Who would they be?
Damn. Dead Nipsey. I'm taking Nipsey, even if it's just like being in the room. If it's mixing,
we're talking about features.
A feature? Yeah. Oh yeah, Nipsey for sure.
Features or feature produced, because you're a producer, so could co-produce.
You right. Which I have a couple in there that he probably sound dope on. But yeah, dead Nipsey, rest in peace for sure.
No Russ. That's Russ bias.
That's fine. He's on the list. He's posted up here.
We know that already.
He'd be on the list. Alive, man. That could be anybody, bro. That could be Kanye, that could be Drake, that can be Cole, that could be Lil Russell too, like out in the West Coast. Lil Russell, like I'm watching it every. Ask them, bro. Every day, my kitchen is loud as shit off my little Alexa joint, and I'm just spinning his interviews, just what he's doing, with the music, with the business side of it, what he's doing for his people, what he's doing as a human has inspired me like a shit ton. So for sure him, because I have hella in the vault that I'm like, bro, I gotta hit that email already, because he'll take beats from random people. I'm like, bro, I just gotta flood that email, and just make something happen, bro. But definitely, yeah, probably him.
So overall, in the past decade, who do you think is the overall top hip hop artist? And I'm talking about business, music, everything.
Business too?
Music, business, everything, all in one.
The last decade? I mean...
Last decade.
Bro, on paper, you kind of have to give it to Drake. Okay. You kind of have to give it to Drake.
I'm not debating. This is a non-biased answer.
Yeah, I would say Drake, bro, because, I mean, a lot of people want to criticize, like, the newer music he's making. And, hey, there's some stuff I'm not the biggest fan of. But he gave me 8 a.m. in Charlotte, so I can take that.
Comment below and tell us, who do you believe?
Who's it going to be? For me, I would say probably it's him, just because he's dominated the space entirely. You get what I mean? Because he can rap. Even this last album, like I'm going there for all the R&B joints he put on there. He can dabble in whatever genre he wants to do, and it's gonna sell out no matter what it is. Right. If you want to go maybe top to bottom, putting something together, I'm probably gonna give that to Kendrick. I can't, for his music, I have to sit and digest it. It's not always on the go that I listen to him. Right. But if you go top to bottom, the way it's mixed, the way it's portrayed, you have to give it to him. He's doing art at its purest form.
Dope. $500,000 in cash or dinner with Russ?
Damn, that's tough. That's tough. Knowing his dumb ass, he'd probably tell me to do the damn thing with him, to sit with him. Nah, bro, because he'd probably tell me to take the $500K. I'd sit down. He's like, bro, you should have took the money. You should have took the money.
Order whatever you want, but you should have took the money.
Exactly, yeah. Because I know what I could do with that. You get me? I know I could amp up the studio. I know I can then develop a team or buy all the equipment I need to do it, or even just be able to promote my stuff correctly, run ads behind whatever it is I'm doing, or put myself in different positions with that type of bread. Because that's what a lot of artists lack. They just lack the capital to do whatever it is they want to do. And $500K, that's a label advance sometimes. Nice. That's a nice chunk. Nice. And if it's not recoupable,
you ain't gotta pay nothing back.
I ain't gotta pay nothing back. I'm probably gonna take the $500K.
I'm gonna give y'all a free answer. So people been answering this question with Jay-Z. I use Russ because we got Russ in the interview today. But my answer would be $500,000 from Jay-Z.
Okay. You found the loophole.
I found the loophole because I'm gonna sit with him.
That's a lot of bread.
We're gonna talk about it, and then he's gonna write me the check for $500,000.
I mean, he's a billionaire now.
So I'm getting that conversation that you would have got in the dinner.
Yeah.
With him as he's writing that check.
Yeah, because he's gonna tell you should have took the $500K. It's like, you can still give me $500. We don't gotta eat, bro. You can still give it to me.
But definitely.
Right.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Man, I used to always portray the picture of, this is where I'm going to be, this is where I'm going to be at, and put in some grand old scheme, but I understand it's what I do day to day.
Right.
So I used to get so caught up in that image, and that's what used to create my anxiety. Because if I'm looking up to the greats and everything, I know that in 5 years, I think I should be here. And I don't want to put myself in a place where I could be disappointed. Not to say I'm going to. I know whatever I put in 5 years, I'm going to be there. But I'm going to be wherever, the work puts me. I know in a year from now,
Say it again.
I'm going to be wherever the work puts me.
I like that answer.
Where I'm going to be somewhere different in another year. I've been manifesting that. A lot of the music I've been making in the pocket that I'm in now is like, give me a year, give me 6 months, give me 8 months, and everything's going to be completely different. Just because I know I'm putting the work in.
You want to start your merch? Take that, just saying you just said, and put that motherfucker on a t-shirt.
I can't. I got to get that to Lil Russell, too. He be saying that shit all the time, too.
But no. But you said it today in the interview. So Lil Russell,
you're right.
You're right. We did that. I mean, how many people wear Biggie shirts and they're not Biggie?
You're right. You're right.
We gonna make that pop even further.
For sure.
What's next for Rene? And Rene, where does the wolf mentality come from? Because we have the wolf in your name, and you speak on wolf a lot.
I got one tatted on my arm. I got the long sleeve.
Yeah. You wear a wolf shirt to the gym a lot.
Nah, bro. I got like two. Well, you're right.
I guess because I tied into your name, so anytime you see it, it sticks out more.
Yeah, I mean,
you're doing good promoting it.
trying to. I mean, what's next for me, really? Again, I've been in a pocket now where I've gotten confidence from the feedback that I've gotten, at least on the music I've been releasing lately, to where it's like everything I do is sounding super cohesive, and even the production I'm making, I'm experimenting with the more
clean.
I want to put out a project. I'm not going to put a timestamp on it.
Right.
I don't even have a name right now. It's a running idea. but I know that there's songs that I'm making that don't fit a project, but I have some that it's like, okay, this is something people want to hear.
Right.
A little more than the other stuff.
Right.
So I would say next is going to be a project. I'm going to release some stuff along the way, but that's something I'm working towards for sure. In terms of the mentality or like the symbol of the wolf, man, it's something I ran with since I was young. It's something I resonated with. You know, I used to draw them all the time and everything. I don't get too like deep into it when it comes that way. It's just something that always sat with me, and I took it everywhere. I've had like emails with wolf in it, gamer tags on Xbox. Wolf.
Where does it come from? There has to be something there.
You really want the source, bro?
I really want but your people want the source. Your fans want the source.
When I was 9, my teacher gave me White Fang, bro, and I read White Fang, and there was something along the story.
What is White Fang?
It's a book about a wolf. It's crazy, right? So, but it's following that story. And the story at the time, which I just bought it, the same copy that I read when I was 9. I just found it again. So I'm going to reread it to really, because sometimes I don't even know why it sat with me. I got to go back to the story. But in the moment, being 9, everything's like impressionable for you. But that was like one of the first books that I remember even reading that really sat with me, besides like, bro, Goosebumps and all that other shit doesn't really sit with you. That was something that I read that had a story to it. So I just tie the wolf to the journey itself.
Got you.
Just the trials and tribulations that you have to go through, doing things for family, doing things with family, or doing things on your own. They're all things that you have to do along the journey to get to the destination you want to get to.
Dope. You see? I knew there was a meaning, bro.
There's a meaning to it.
Put the humble behind, bro. I tell you, no more humble.
You know?
No more humble. Where can they find you? Where can they find your music? Where can they do all that?
Man, Apple Music, Spotify, just look up Rene. It might be a little hard because a lot of people name Rene, I can't lie. But follow me everywhere, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, at The Wolf Who Cries. I'm sure you'll put it on the screen, however that goes.
Yeah, Robbie Joe.
Follow me there, and just hit the link tree, man. Everything's going to be there for y'all.
I want to tell you that you're dope. You're dope. You got dope music. I want to see you succeed. When we first met, we first started talking. I didn't know you made music. We met at the gym. Yeah. And then you told me about your music, and then you showed me your music, and I listened to your music, and I was like, God damn, why is this motherfucker so quiet and humble? Like, this shit sounds good. Yeah. And then I went back, and then I came in, I was like, bro, what you doing?
Yeah, no, that was crazy, bro. When I ran into you that day at the gym, I had just quit my job.
Oh, shit.
Because I need to remove myself from that space to be more of an artist. Mm-hmm. And it's like the first day I go on my 5 a.m. shit, I run into you. I was like, nah, this the universe working. You get me? Because I've been manifesting this conversation probably since 2020. I think that's how long we've been following each other, because you did an interview with Junior Flip.
Oh, okay.
Which was great. Flip. Well, yeah, which was great because, bro, he was just my customer at the old job I used to work at.
Oh, wow.
So somebody knew him and shared it. And I was like, I ran to her, you rap. I started listening to his shit heavy, and it was your interview that put me on.
Yeah. Shout out to Flip.
So I followed you. Drive. Right. I followed you from there, and you followed back. So it's like, I'm like, all right, bro, I'm gonna put the work in, and eventually I'm gonna be in the seat, and here I am.
We're here, bro. We're working, bro. And then now I'm gonna manifest and say, I seen this motherfucker. He wasn't having too much music out. His music was dope. Then I sat with him, and then 6 months later, this nigga blew up out of nowhere.
Like that.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
my season. Yeah, put it on paper. But bro, keep going. I want to tell you, don't critique yourself as much as you do, because you do have something, and not in the sense where, don't be not humble, but in the sense where, don't worry, you got it.
Thank you, bro.
Don't worry, you got it. That's what I'm telling you. You got it. Don't worry about it. Shout out to your brother. So if you didn't know, all the things I knew about you was because I Instagram your brother and asked him a bunch of questions. Yeah.
You said that's funny.
I do that with everybody, but I want to give him his respect on the camera. I don't tell people off the camera.
I appreciate you doing that too.
But yeah, you got to go dope thing going and keep going. Shout outs before we close out. Shout outs.
Man, shout out to my brother. Shout out to the family, everybody. Artists doing it too. Shout out to like Shadow League. They doing some crazy shit. I've been sharing a lot of their stuff. Shout out to Tone. He's making great music.
Okay.
Shout out my boy Darius. I got a feature with him that's somewhere in the vault. I'll show you later. Yeah, man. And shout out to everybody.
My name is Litty Willie. This is Rene. This is the segment called I Got a Story to Tell on the Litty Show, and we out.